Hello there, and welcome to the second devlog of Pool Party 8.
First things first, I had to add ice physics. After all, this is an ice level. The main bad guy is a seal line. Ice physics are handled based on whether this variable ice is activated. When it is, old velocity tries to match the current velocity. It gets as close as possible before it has to change, and then it adds that to whatever movement there is, meaning that you can end up going twice as fast as you normally do. But you can also end up going basically zero speed if you try to go not a way you hadn't gone. Is what I would say, except you just pretty easily go the opposite direction. Next up, I decided to make this level a bioShock parody, so naturally I had to add some sort of enemies. In this case, I added penguins. Penguins will try to slap you with a wrench if they have a wrench. If they have a gun, they will try to shoot you. And some stairs and slopes have their own slope barrier. This thing simply just detects whether Jerry has entered it, and if he has, then it pushes him downward. It does this by setting Jerry's old velocity to a specific value that it has to maintain. When you make a collision against a wall, the specific variable that you are moving in stops moving. This is handled by just asking, hey, is the X the same as the X, the Y the same as the Y, and the Z the same as the Z for 2 frames in a row? And if it is, then you must have hit a wall, so it don't let you keep sliding. It just sets it back down to 0.
I was going to be making spaghetti for this part, but I ran out of spaghetti.
Block puzzles had to be updated to allow for ice sliding. Problem is, how the block puzzles are handled is probably the worst possible way this could have been done.
So let's say we have this specific layout. Pretend I remember to write 5 goes down to 4. If we have this system, then it detects what direction Jerry's hitting it, and then it has to go in the direction that it would be hit into. So if this is a 1 by 1 by 1 cube and you hit it from below, then it's got to go from 2 to 4. It asks for 2's up, and it gives it 4, so it then goes to 4. But before it can do any of that, it has to figure out what rotation it needs to go to. So it calculates the exact rotation by adding whatever it needs to for the axis. It should be a simple thing, but for some reason it ain't. After it figures that out, it then makes a call to Pillar, that thing that knocks over those snakes in level 2, and it tells it to set its exact position and rotation to here at 4. Now, let's say, hypothetically, this was not a 1 by 1 by 1 block, it is a 1 by 1 by 2 box lock down here. If that's the case, then when you hit it, it has to rotate 90 degrees, which makes it get longer and go up here. Now, what it does for this system is it says, give me 2's up, that's 4. Give me 4's up, that's 5. If that exists, then go to that position. It will have to figure out that exact thing, though. However, if it was on 4 when we tried to do that, then it would do the call that says, give me 4's up, that's 5. Give me 5's up. Well, 5 only has 1 entry, and that's down. Well, 5 only has 1 entry, and that's down to 4. So there is no way to go up from 5, therefore we're just going to call it quits here. How the ice works is that when you land on an ice block, it tries to go to the next space over. So if you went right, then it's going to keep trying to go right every time until it stops landing on an ice block. If it lands on an ice block that has no edge to go up, let's say 7 was an ice block 2, then it would go ice, move up to 7, 7, move to the next one. There is no next one, so it stops at 7. If it lands horizontally on the ice block, then that would be too hard of a system to try and calculate every single time. The way I have this working is that it's held in the bottom left. So for here, the left square is on 2, so it's actually on 2. When it has to go right, it makes a call twice to 7 and then goes to sit on 7. But if I were to go left, then it would only make the call once to go back to 1. Because the block I'm not holding on to might be ice, in this case 6 is ice, but it's being held on 2, it has no way of knowing if this one is ice, so it has no way of knowing it should slide. Because of that, I decided any block landing horizontally like this will have too much friction for ice to be able to slide it. It also does do checking, so for instance, if I hit it from below, it will check if 2 has an up, and that is 4. If 4 does not have a right, then that means it can't sit here. So it does not try to go up. To make sure you understand what I mean by this is all spaghetti code, I'm just going to show you all of the code as I scroll through it.
When it lands horizontally on a piece of ice, it doesn't move any differently than if you just landed it on nothing. When it lands vertically on a piece of ice, it slides past that piece of ice. You have 3 main weapons at the start to handle these penguins. First of all, you got the sledgehammer. This deals half their health in one hit. If they have a machine gun, they very well might even hit you at some point. Currently, their bullets deal damage to them. I don't know why. You can also hit them with a machete, which is a much faster version of the sledgehammer that only deals a third of their health. Your final default option weapon, whatever, is a water pistol that can electrocute the penguins and cause them to short circuit. You can unlock the pistol by making it into this room and just pressing E while looking at the pistol. It shoots 6 ammo before it has to be refilled, and then it has 36 ammo together. The pistol deals 10 damage to the penguin and will eventually kill them. You can recover all your health by just pressing E while looking at these medkit boxes. Going underwater has a new effect in this level because it is freezing cold. Then once you enter the water, your vision will start to freeze. This can simply be undone by leaving the cold area, and you will slowly regain your heat. After you eventually defeat this ice puzzle, you unlock the most powerful item in the entire game, the backpack. The backpack allows you to have the hammer equipped while also being able to see underwater. This will allow light and hammer puzzles, and also allow for the killing off of these characters. The colder you get, the more this ice thing begins to freeze the screen. Eventually I'm going to add something that'll allow you to warm up as you go across, but once this thing reaches 100% opacity, then that means that you are dead and have lost, and will send you to the game over screen. As you will see sometime soon. It's an exponential growth, but I'm not sure when it ends. There.
And that is it for Pool Party 8's second devlog. Now, hope you... What was that?